Hey everyone, and welcome back to All About AI Tech. Today, we're tackling a topic that's been burning up the internet, local AI, because let's face it, using cloud-based LLMs from big tech isn't always ideal. It's convenient, sure, but your data is sent to their servers, often for purposes including training their own models. Plus, the bills just keep on coming. That's where all the friction with cloud services really sits. That's why I'm excited to show you Ollama, because it's changed the game. Imagine having the power of top-tier AI in your own hands, on your own hardware, keeping your data safe and sound. That sounds pretty amazing, right? No more worrying about data privacy, no more unpredictable prices, just pure control. And that's exactly what Ollama puts in your hands. Think of it like this. You wouldn't want to run your entire business off someone else's computer, right? Why let the same happen with your AI? This isn't just about saving a few bucks. This is about building trust, efficiency, and a secure future for your AI projects, and that's a pretty exciting idea. So, what is Ollama? It is a game changer, a brilliant open-source tool that lets you run many different LLMs locally on your machine. Think of it as a superpowered Docker for AI. Instead of containers, you're running incredible. You just download it, run some super simple commands on your terminal, and voila! You are running a cutting-edge AI model on your computer. Ollama is incredibly intuitive. You literally just type in one command, Ollama run model name, and it handles the rest, downloading the model weights, configuring the settings, everything. It's remarkably simple, particularly important for people who are interested in getting started using AI locally without needing the background in computer science. It supports all the major operating systems, whether the model is running on Apple Silicon Macs, Intel CPU computers running Windows, AMD GPU servers, or Raspberry Pis using ARM chips. It's incredible. Ollama's model library is truly impressive. It supports hundreds of models, including some of the most exciting open-source LLMs that we've all seen like Llama 3, Mistral, Phi, and Llama. You can literally run any of these models on your machine. The best part is that each model has its own strengths. Llama's a great all-arounder for both creative writing and general questions. Mistral excels for code generation, which is amazing for any developer. Ollama is completely open, so if the developers manage to successfully download GPT-4 to it, which is highly unlikely, we already know that the model is immediately available through Ollama. Imagine all the advantages of GPT-4 on your system locally and completely under your control. Ollama even supports VLMs, like LLVA, opening up incredibly huge opportunities for multimedia-based AI applications. No more worrying about API limits, token costs, or the hassle of switching between different models. Ollama gives you the freedom to explore any open-source model you want. I have to say, installing Ollama was remarkably painless. It's a genuinely seamless, point-and-click experience, especially on Macs. There's a friendly download for Windows, Mac OS, and for Linux users a super simple one-liner works perfectly. Once it's installed and set up, everything is just a command line query away. There's plenty of help readily available on the Ollama website if you're not familiar with command line operations. Ollama even provides incredibly useful warnings for when your hardware is not high-end enough. That functionality alone saved me loads of time, avoiding the headache of troubleshooting a system that runs too slowly. Overall, it's a wonderfully smooth experience from start to finish, even for someone who's not used to implementing or operating LLMs locally. Now, let's talk performance because that's where things get really interesting with Ollama. Of course, the speed of inference is going to heavily depend on your hardware. It's definitely noticeable when running the models with a CPU only and versus with a powerful NVIDIA GPU as well as Apple Silicon Macs. But even with a CPU, Ollama is efficient, which might actually surprise many of you. The smaller models, like Phi 3 Mini or some of the other compact models from Google DeepMind, run remarkably well even on my aging pre-M1 MacBook Pro, even though it's not exactly what you'd call high-spec. So, using a higher-end device will naturally improve the system's performance a lot. And for a serious AI application, you're definitely going to want a better-powered system, particularly if you're going to be running models such as Llama 3. But overall, I was incredibly impressed with how manageable Ollama actually was. Not only was it useful on my laptop, I was able to run it on a Raspberry Pi 5, a device that's, again, incredibly small, but also has a surprisingly good number of processing and memory capacity. Being able to run on such diverse hardware emphasizes Ollama's ease of use and versatility. This is exciting because it means that local AI can be more democratically distributed and accessible to everyone, which benefits everyone. Ollama is not just about chatting with LLMs through a terminal. It exposes a really clean REST API. This means it's incredibly simple to plug into your own software projects or Python scripts. This capability opens up a fantastic opportunity for many users to improve their own applications locally via Ollama. So, for example, I managed to plug Ollama into my C# code, creating my own custom chatbot that is completely under my control, and which will never have to send a query to someone else's servers. I showed how easy implementing a RAG-based system to search and interpret my own internal documents for useful information was using Ollama as the engine of my Python application. It didn't take me very long to complete, which is an obvious benefit for many users looking at saving time or cutting costs. You can check the response time for various functions as well as look closer at the usage of the API. Imagine building your own financial trading tools based on locally processed data with Ollama as your engine. It's truly transformative and highlights Ollama's focus on giving end users more control. While Ollama's command line interface is awesome for those who are comfortable working on the terminal window, not everyone shares enthusiasm. That's perfectly fine. Here's another incredible project that comes along with Ollama called OpenWebUI. It's a beautifully designed, open-source web interface that connects very easily to Ollama, providing a far more user-friendly experience compared to other options available. It's a really clean and polished, web-based interface remarkably similar to ChatGPT that allows you to easily swap the models and configurations that are available locally via Ollama. The models and parameters are managed through OpenWebUI, but they run locally via Ollama. There's also easy support for plugins and extensions designed for improving OpenWebUI's functionality and features, such as searching the web, loading documents to generate summaries or contextual answers, and more. By running OpenWebUI with Ollama, you're getting both a really simple user experience and the amazing power to run almost any LLM that's been released in its format, locally and privately, and it's pretty cool. This is a really crucial point. With Ollama, your data stays put. It's completely local. Your sensitive information, documents, internal business data, etc., are never transmitted to external servers. I am very concerned with privacy, and Ollama's focus on security resonates with my priorities completely. This is a key selling point, especially for many businesses and users in finance, healthcare, or any other sector with strict privacy regulations. It gives you far more control over your data than cloud-based solutions ever could. There's also nothing particularly special about Ollama. It's not an unusual technology. You could technically just download the software and models you need and run them on a bare metal Linux server. But doing so requires far more technical experience and troubleshooting capabilities. Ollama simply handles the tedious, repetitive steps that get in the way of users running LLMs locally, saving you tons of effort and valuable time. This is incredibly useful for users who don't want to spend all their days coding, but rather want to use AI technologies immediately and privately. Let's talk about costs. With cloud-based LLMs, those bills and costs can really add up, and that expense just keeps on growing. Instead, Ollama is free. You only pay for your own hardware and electricity. Granted, running the largest LLMs does require powerful and expensive hardware such as a top-of-the-line GPU plus plenty of RAM and very fast SSD storage, but even running smaller models provides tremendous gains in time efficiency for a small upfront cost. That in itself may pay for the costs just based on saving your time from making API calls and from avoiding the hassles of waiting for a cloud-based response. As the cost of electricity varies by region, the cost-effectiveness will vary. So you could calculate the true cost of energy for your LLM usage if that is a factor you need to consider, such as for business purposes. You should also consider hardware failure as well as operational costs of a private server setup. Thus, cloud-based solutions may still be more convenient at times for certain circumstances, but it also depends on your priorities, whether it is the price of running the models, time savings from not having to deploy your own solutions locally, or security. Ollama empowers you to fully customize your AI experience. You can choose from many models, adjust parameters like temperature and top P, and even integrate custom-trained LLMs. That kind of adaptability is crucial for anyone working with cutting-edge technologies and who want to build their systems tailored for specific requirements, whether it is for a business or just something simple and fun to experiment with. It gives you the flexibility to adapt and optimize your AI model for specific situations. Cloud services often force the user to stick with their specific pre-trained model and parameters, while Ollama goes beyond that, letting you choose precisely the model and options that work for you. Remember that it's not just about picking the right model, it's also about your own personal prompting and knowing how to guide the model towards the outputs that you need. Thus, local AI may require more skills and knowledge from the user compared to cloud-based, but also increases the flexibility and control the end user has. Ollama is more than just a tool. It's a statement about the future of AI. Instead of relying on large, centralized services controlled by a few megacorporations, Ollama puts the power, security, and the customization of AI right in your hands. It's a game changer for developers, researchers, and organizations that are looking at deploying AI privately and locally. It's empowering and exciting to see a technology that really does give individuals, developers, and organizations more freedom to customize the AI models, their settings, and the resulting output. I have learned and witnessed the growth of AI over the years firsthand from my own local deployment of AI. I'm truly amazed at how it's changed and grown in its capabilities to be both useful and approachable for almost any user. But it also serves as a huge reminder for us to remain cautious as AI develops even faster, and to understand how these technologies might also be misused or to harm others. Overall, if you're considering deploying AI on your own system, Ollama absolutely is a must-try tool. It's simple, powerful, and ultimately puts you back in control of your own AI destiny. What are you waiting for? Leave a comment if you like this video. Let me know which LLMs you're using locally. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. Thanks.